Hey everybody, Derek here to bring another video for Z Nation. It's been a while since I've made a Z Nation video because there really hasn't been a lot of information released about the upcoming second season. However, most recently we have had Comic Con, and we've also had a couple of other little snippets of information being released. And in today's video, what I'm going to do is discuss two episode titles that have been released. It's just the titles, so we don't have a description. But based on the title and some of the themes that I think are coming up in season 2 of Z Nation, I'm going to try to make some predictions on what the episode titles mean. So just in case you guys are not caught up with Z Nation or you do not want to be spoiled, this video probably will contain some spoilers. So if you do not want to be spoiled, don't watch the video because else you will be spoiled. Okay, so ironically, it's not even the first two episodes. It's episodes 6 and episode 8. So it's not even like it's the beginning. It's just that, along the way, I guess that somebody, I don't know if they leaked the information or what the deal was, but we know episodes 6 and 8, their titles. And episode 6 is called Zombaby. Now, obviously, those would seem to be the words zombie and baby, combined. It's kind of like, what do you call that, a portmanteau, I think, when you combine two words together. And I think that this is definitely something that is very revealing. Granted, we have already seen a zombie baby. In the very first episode of Z Nation, there was a deadly zombie baby that, went around, caused chaos, actually got up, ran around, and, actually killed Hammond. So, obviously, it doesn't matter whether you're a baby, whether you're an adult, whatever you are. If you're a zombie, you're going to cause some mayhem. And, Zombaby would almost seem to make you think, well, that there's a baby and it's a zombie, so maybe a zombie baby. Well, if you have caught up with some of my videos on the spoilers from the season 2, that one video that I made, there's actually been, it's been revealed that Pie Girl from episode 11, Sisters of Mercy, is coming back for a guest arc on season 2. Now, we don't know how long that's going to be. We don't know if it's just one episode, several episodes, whatever the case may be. But if you're familiar with what happened in season 1 when they stopped at the Sisters of Mercy, base, Murphy and one of the ladies that lived there named, well, we don't actually have a name for her, so she's designated as Pie Girl because she brought a pie out for Murphy, to eat. Well, these two had relations. They did have sexual relations with each other. And when the episode ended, you were able to see that the camera centered in on Pie Girl's stomach. Well, we know that, people do a lot of foreshadowing in shows. Characters say things, they come true. You see, close up on a sign, and all of a sudden later on the episode or next season or whenever something, comes true from that. Well, many of us believe that this is a sign, that maybe Pie Girl is pregnant with Murphy's child. And if that is the case, then it really makes you wonder exactly what this is going to be about. And I think that in this episode 6, this is going to be when Pie Girl has her baby, I think. Now, whether she's reintroduced early on or whether she's introduced later is hard to say. Now, granted, it may not be that she even has the baby. It might just be that this is the episode that she comes back and we see what's happening to her. Because we've seen in the remake of Dawn of the Dead in 2004, we saw that there was a character that became that was pregnant when the zombie apocalypse started. She got bit, and as a result, the baby, ended up becoming a zombie. And when it was born, it was a zombie. And whether they would do the same thing here or not is definitely a question. But I think that that is very possible. I think that we are going to see um, potentially some side effects as a result of the pregnancy. I think there's really no doubt in my mind that Pie Girl is pregnant with Murphy's baby. And exactly what this is going to mean, it could mean a lot. It could mean that, there's somebody else that holds the cure. It could be, a similar mixture of a zombie and a human, kind of like how Cassandra is. Um, or it may be a normal baby. I have my doubts about that one, but I think that we're going to actually it will be revealed that Pie Girl is pregnant with Murphy's baby. She may have it in this episode. I think that's very possible. I mean, the rules may be a little different for giving birth to zombie babies. I mean, we've seen in various other media where pregnancies don't last as long due to different circumstances. And this may be one of the cases, where the zombie is able to grow faster. Maybe as a result of the vaccine, maybe as a result of the fact that it's a zombie. You just don't know. Maybe there's not much that's needed. But I'm definitely interested to see what happens. And I think that this can mean a lot of consequences for the future. I think it's very possible that we may see this baby become a target, whereas Murphy might not necessarily be the one to capture it, might be the baby, because the baby might have different powers that Murphy doesn't. And again, the baby may come out and be relatively okay. Maybe meaning that, I mean, this is kind of like genetics in general. You trace back history and you see where people built up immunities to viruses, particularly the bubonic plague. Where you would see that various individuals that did not contract it and would then reproduce, those individuals would have a buildup of immunes to that virus. Therefore, they would be immune, to getting it. And as you go along, it weakens the amount of people that the virus can affect, or it just won't kill you. And you saw this in Europe where, people were getting exposed to numerous diseases, but over time built up an immunity to several different ones. And, you see that happening, with various other diseases. And I think that the same could apply here in Z Nation, where if you do have somebody who is potentially immune to the virus and they, reproduce with somebody else who's immune to the virus, would that necessarily later on down the road cause individuals with a buildup of immunity? And the baby might be immune. So I'm very interested to see what developments will come as a result of this, but I have no doubt in my mind that this episode title is absolutely indicating that. I think we're going to see a baby, come from Murphy and Pie Girl, and I think that it's definitely going to change the show forever if the baby survives. I mean, we don't really know what's going to happen, but I think that there are long-term consequences that will arise from this episode, and I'm very excited for it. Now, the other episode is episode 8, and this episode is called The Collector, okay? And again, we don't have a description of it, but, you think about collectors, what do collectors do? They gather up various things that interest them, and, they take pride in them, some people have collections of coins, stamps, movies. I mean, you name it. People collect things, things that they're very interested in. Normally, you wouldn't collect something if you didn't have an interest in it. And I think that here, citing the collector, they're obviously talking about a person. And it really makes me wonder, though, what is the collection itself? Because I find that there could be various different meanings behind the collector. One, it could be a reference to Dr. Kurian. As we know, based on Doctor of the Dead, Dr. Kurian was the one that was going around to various different people, taking samples from them, so collecting samples. And, we don't necessarily know what he did with them, but we're assuming that, he's responsible for what, the zombie virus became. Now, it could mean that this is a reference to Dr. Curry, and we really don't know how much he's going to appear in season 2. And this just may be a reference to him going around to new people, collecting different things, or we may see more flashbacks in this episode, going back to, before the apocalypse, just like the season finale Doctor of the Dead was. And again, this may be that Dr. Kurian does have a lab out there, and we may see his lab. We may see that he has specimen. We may see that he has different experiments going on, and hence, he may be referred to the collector, and that he is going around collecting samples, and we may see a little bit more about what he's doing, what he's collecting. Is he looking for some kind of criteria, and what is he doing? So we may get a reference to that. On the other hand, though, I think the collector might also refer to Murphy. Something with Murphy that I've heard about is that his character may obtain a cult-like status amongst different individuals. I mean, I'll never forget back in, the episode Resurrection Z, whenever you had, Murphy proclaiming himself to be like the zombie messiah. In front of the preacher, who was going around and, battling with the Texas compound. And it makes you wonder if there is a part of him that does think about things that way. If he, if he is going to be interested in going to California at all, and he may just be, gathering people to support him. He may just be treating this like it's one big joke, or he may be, realizing that he's powerful and realizing that he has this power, he can take it and then, do what he wants with it. So if he wants to make himself into some godlike complex, he might. And the collector may be him collecting various different people. I mean, it could be people, it could be zombies, it could be, we may run into another cult out there. I mean, you just never know the kinds of individuals you're going to run into in the zombie apocalypse. And it seems like everybody is going to be after Murphy. So if everybody finds out about him and they meet him, they may be very fascinated with him. Many people may regard Murphy as the person that will save them, somebody who could protect them in this zombie apocalypse. I mean, we've seen he has the ability to control people. He can control the zombies. He does have abilities. And if people think that he can help them, then they might flock towards him. So the collector may be Murphy himself, collecting people into his own group, making himself out to be this big major person, and potentially building an army. I think that is a very good possibility. The other thing, too, is that it might just be some random person, and the collector might be, a collector of zombies. They might be a collector of zombie artifacts. I mean, you never know. I mean, yeah, we've met crazy people out there in the Z Nation world, and this could be somebody who's totally different, totally random. It's a matter of we have to watch and find out. But I was very interested to see those 2 episode titles, and I haven't made a Z Nation video in a while, and I really wish that I could make more. It's just that there's really not a lot of information coming out. So I'm going to try to pace out a few more videos. Comic-Con recently came out, and Z Nation did attend, so I do have some concepts from that I can work on. So stay tuned. I will have more Z Nation videos out. I'm just trying to, pace them out till September 11th, as well as just wait to see if more developments come. So there will be more. Just stay tuned. And if you guys do have any questions or comments or any video ideas that you would like to see, don't be afraid to suggest them. Feel free to subscribe. I do have more videos coming, and I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. I really do appreciate all of your support, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.